Welcome to the PSR YouTube channel. Hey, I love YouTube. YouTube's awesome. It's awesome. You should become a YouTube creator. Totally. This video will get monetized. Yes.
Whoa, yeah. We're having lots of family fun now. Whoa, yeah. None of these are real guns now. Whoa, yeah. Also got a Patreon, the link is in description. Got some merch too, yeah, you know you wanna get some.
Thank you for being patient. I think we've stroked the algorithm enough for today. The video starts in 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a great day. Unfortunately, we have some rather bad news and kind of a downer of a video today, but I think it's really important to get the video out and the message out. I really love this creator, and it's just absolutely infuriating what YouTube has done to their livelihood and their YouTube channel. But before we get into it, I gotta thank KAK Industry for being the channel sponsor for PSR. They've been cranking out parts for about 12 years now, and they've been sponsoring this channel for almost 2 years now. So I want to thank them for being the channel sponsor. If you want 10% off your order from KAK Industry, I would absolutely never ever use the code PSR at checkout for 10% off. Just don't do it. With that said, I bring some unfortunate news that KAK will no longer be sponsoring my channel going forward after October. So if you do want to use that code, use that thing before the end of October because it'll disappear. If you're interested in sponsoring an episode of PSR, please let me know. I have an email right here, which you can contact me at for any further inquiries. All right, so let's get to talking about what happened to one of my favorite creators on YouTube and just creators in general, and that's 3D Print General. If you're familiar with 3D Print General, he has a channel that focuses on 3D printer reviews, everything 3D print related, and he does tutorials on how to get better prints, tutorials on how to set up your printers, and primarily 3D printer reviews. Now, I have personally hung out with Sean. He's a great guy. He's a very hardworking guy. He does the channel all by himself, edits the videos, films everything himself, very similar to what I do. The only difference is Sean doesn't really make gun content. Sean got interested in gun content maybe a couple years ago, year and a half ago, started covering the 3DP 2A scene, went to a Guns and Bitcoin event, I think it was, and talked to some of the people involved in the 3D 2A space and interviewed them. And I remember watching that interview and being really intrigued by it. And Sean, just like any good creator, he wanted to learn more and wanted to tell the story of some of these creators who were using 3D printing to do 2A stuff, right? So that was all well and good. Actually, one of the first videos I ever got to hear Alex Control Pew on was one that Sean 3D Print General did with Control Pew. This interview focused on Control Pew and just his story and how he got to what he was doing, and I was really engaged in it, and it's really one of the things that actually kind of got me really interested in this whole hobby and this whole thing, and now I have his YouTube channel. So I kind of can thank a lot Sean and his channel for kind of inspiring me. So we fast forward a little bit. Sean's still cranking out lots of 3D printing reviews, not gun-related stuff. Then he gets a video removed, and this was, I don't know, maybe a year ago or so. He gets his video of the interview with Control Pew removed and struck down by YouTube. So they gave him a strike. They may have striked a couple other videos as well, and he was like really close to getting his channel completely removed, which I can certainly relate with, unfortunately. And so Sean said, hold up, I don't want my channel that's a primarily 3D printer review channel to be compromised because I'm deciding to cover 3D guns, right? Now, he had also made a documentary about the history of 3D guns, which I think is an amazing documentary, a really well-researched, great piece that has interviews from a bunch of the important people involved in 3D 2A stuff from the very beginning. Now, when I look at this documentary that Sean made about the history, I mean, we're talking about the history. We're not talking about tutorials on how to 3D print anything 2A related. This is just a historical look at the history of 3D 2A stuff in this country, right? So you've also got a Vice piece, plenty of Vice pieces actually. I think I counted like 3 or 4 that are about the same topic. Now, Vice's most recent piece on this topic involved a reporter going to a competition in which they learn how to make one of these Glocks, and they make one and use it in the competition. This is far more informative on the process of creating one than Sean's documentary ever was. And so Sean, just about 3 weeks ago, gets his documentary that has been up for 2 years almost. He gets that documentary removed and struck down, deleted from YouTube permanently. It had over 400,000 views. And this is a video that was up for a long time and then just all of a sudden got removed. Sean was like noticeably disturbed by this, as anyone would be. But it turns out, unfortunately, it appears that Sean reaching out to YouTube is kind of what started this whole issue. Now, I've heard some people shaming Sean on Twitter for reaching out to YouTube, drawing attention to his case, but you can't hate on someone that is legitimately trying to get answers for their issues. So Sean was under the impression that he could get his 100,000 subscriber reward, his plaque, and he was wondering why he hadn't got his, because all of his strikes had expired and had been at least a year since he had gotten any infractions. So Sean was under the expectation that he would be able to be eligible for getting his creator award. So he contacted YouTube to ask, hey, what's the deal with this? Then just 2 days later, they struck down his documentary and removed it from YouTube, deleted it from the platform permanently. That's when it all started to really spiral downward. And it's hard when you look at this situation and what's happened to Sean to not think that YouTube has some sort of vendetta or is specifically targeting him, because it is really, really insane. This is beyond just algorithms deciding that content is no bueno. This is people within YouTube, I believe, are targeting Sean. Before you just say, all right, I'm tired of you complaining about YouTube, and why don't you just move to Rumble or Odyssey or all of the alternative platforms, the many that are out there, I want you to just consider that as a creator, getting people to watch on those platforms is nearly impossible. Very few people are going to Odyssey or Rumble for how-to videos, review videos, anything that's not, political commentary. People are going to YouTube for information. I wish that we had more options, and I know people have said many times to me before, the viewers and the creators are the ones that deserve the blame for this, because you are not switching and you are not dedicating enough time to growing your platform elsewhere. And, I do fully understand that, and there is a point there, obviously. As a creator, it's super challenging to reach anyone on those platforms. And you can just go to my Odyssey or go to my Rumble account and see how little views I get on those videos. Now back to Sean. So after this video got removed, Sean got a strike. He was very upset, obviously, but he decided, okay, we're going to move on, and I'm going to actually just completely remove all of the gun content, anything that has to do with guns, from my main channel. 3D Print General started a different channel about a year ago that was dedicated just towards anything gun related, separate of his main channel, which he decided to no longer do any kind of gun content on, because he was worried, of course, for the safety and longevity of his main channel, that it would get removed. So they give him a strike for his history documentary, which, like I said before, the Vice one is so much worse in terms of providing information that people could use, to potentially, manufacture their own two-way items. Sean's video was just a purely objective view at the history of 3D two-way stuff in the United States. Can't reiterate that enough. And YouTube, it's obviously clear that they're going to give way more leeway toward a corporation like Vice, who is now huge and owned by bigger corporations, than they are to a small creator who does all of their own work and puts in all of their own time and investment to make a really well-researched documentary. Of course, they're going to give Vice the benefit of the doubt and allow their documentary to stay on their platform, even though, according to their own policy, removing Sean's documentary should mean that they remove the Vice documentary as well. Now, if it was up to me, I wouldn't put any regulations on YouTube, because I believe the internet should be completely unregulated, like how it started. And we can get into another conversation about how the internet today is entirely different from what it was when I was a kid and when I was growing up. These corporations have so much control over the internet. We're talking Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. All those things are becoming more and more regulated, more and more policed as to what you can say and what you can't say. We are living in that era. We're in the dark ages of this, and hopefully we can come out of it at some point, because I'm just all for people not being censored. That was a little bit of a tangent. Back to Sean. Sean has now had a strike on his channel. He's gotten the documentary removed. He decides to appeal to YouTube, and when he appeals to YouTube, YouTube goes and demonetizes his entire channel. Not only did they punish him for inquiring about his plaque, they punished him with a removal of one of his videos, which did not break their terms of service. Then they, on top of that, doubled down after Sean asked, hey, what's up? Why did you remove this? Here's my appeal. They said, you know what? This clearly wasn't enough. You didn't realize that you have to stay in your place. We are the big guys here, so you need to sit down, and now you can't make any more money off your channel. And that's what YouTube did. Sean asked for more help. He's reaching out on Twitter, and he's not getting responses. Now, later on, Sean announces that Polymaker, the awesome filament company, if you want to check out Polymaker, there's a link in my description. Polymaker makes the best filaments. I use it for all my projects. Extremely based company. They reached out to Sean and said, hey, we want to sponsor your channel. We want to take the place of what that YouTube income that was lost based on your demonetization. We want to sponsor your channel. And that was awesome by Polymaker. That happens, and all of a sudden, a couple days later, Sean announces it, and then, what do you know? YouTube decides to completely delete Sean's channel and remove it entirely. All of the 6 years of working towards this goal of having 100,000 subscribers, Sean was at like 113, 14,000 subscribers, I believe, or maybe 120 something. He had been working his ass off, and that was his main income. And he was providing really great reviews, really great information, really respected channel in 3D printing. Not even when you think about anything related to guns, he was doing all 3D printer reviews, not gun-related stuff. He had removed that entirely from his channel, and yet YouTube went in and found in my opinion, completely bullshit reason to remove his channel, and they said that he created another account during one of his bans, and that was what got him a removal from YouTube. They said that he was trying to avoid a ban, and this was way back when he got his first strike over the Control Pew interview. They said that he created another account, and he didn't create another account. One of his friends made another account, and that is what they said, deleted, removed his account. That was why. Now, they took Sean's account down. They took his personal account down, which is subscribed to YouTube Premium. They took his dad's account down because he had run an ad for it, which is insane. So they took everything away from 3D Print Channel. Everything YouTube account related, gone from Sean's whole life. They just removed it. And this is what is so frustrating and frankly terrifying as a creator when this happens to one of your fellow creators who you love and respect their content, and they're doing nothing wrong, and especially in Sean's case, far less spicy than anything else out there. It's just a merely informative 3D print channel. All reviews of 3D printers and all tips and tricks, nothing to do with gun creation or anything like that, and yet they found a reason, bullshit reason, to remove his account. So I wanted to just get the word out about this injustice and spread the word, because I think the more people that know about this, the better. Sean needs your support. Sean's a great guy and he deserves our support. So I would really appreciate you if you went to his Twitter or his Instagram and just showed him some love and support, and that we're behind him, and continue watching him on the other platforms, because his whole catalog is there, and I'm hoping that he can continue to post his content, because I'm going to certainly miss it if he stops. But just that support will go a long way to showing him that we really do care about him, and a fellow member of the community that we can help continue to support, because he deserves our support. So that's really it for this video. I'm sorry guys that it's kind of a downer. We got more content on the way, but I want to get the word out. So Sean, we love you, we respect you, we got your back. Peace.